Yeah, I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a roll.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back. It's been a couple of weeks. Prashit, how you doing over there down in the States?
Bro, I'm doing good, eh? I'm tightly locked up in quarantine, but I've been trying to sneak out when I can, bro. How about yourself?
Well, I'm going good, but they're saying that you can't come home yet on your scheduled time. Is that right? Or you're not going to get back into Canada here?
Oh, man, I feel like I'm Tom Hanks from Terminal, man. I don't know if I've got a home state at this point, eh?
Yeah,
I've got to figure that out, man. I've got to, hit up some of the contacts at the old immigration office. But, yeah, man, I don't really know what my status is, but I've got a couple more months at least to figure it out before they kick me out of here. Yeah, bro. How about you? How have you been keeping yourself busy?
Yeah, we're good, man. I'm good. So I've got myself into trouble a couple of times here. So I'm not sure if you've been keeping touch with the rugby going on back home, but I always have put bets on the Chiefs these past couple of weeks, and they've lost both times. Yeah, so they lost both times, and so basically what I had to do last week. We lost against the Highlanders in the last minute. I had to do burpees in the bar that we watched it at. So everybody's watching me doing burpees in the bar. And,
cardiovascular.
Yeah, and we just lost yesterday as well against the Blues, close one. And I had to go for an undie run around the park after the game. So just in the middle of Vancouver and downtown. So people were watching as well.
Show it off.
Oh, yeah. Had to get the shirt off. I was trying to do the big suck in the gut. But in a little bit of trouble, but everything's good over this end, mate. You got any stories to report to us, or?
I mean, I've been heavily watching some content, man. TV series and movies and whatnot. Yeah. Been for like nice little walks here and there, trying to enjoy the weather. Nice. I know that you got out to the mountains last weekend, didn't you?
Yeah. So I went out to Squamish. You've been to Squamish, haven't you?
I don't think I have.
Maybe. Okay, maybe you haven't. So basically, like all our Canadian viewers will know, it's like halfway in between Vancouver and Whistler, and it's like a mini little Whistler type village, right? And so there's this. We found this hidden beach just encompassed by all these massive mountains. There's like a stream of water flowing down. There was a waterfall.
Clothing optional.
And we just played a bunch of spike ball, bro. Have you played spike ball?
That's the thing with it's like 4 people, you hit it, a handball basically, right? Kind of like handball?
A mini
and volleyball mix?
Yes, bro, that's exactly it. So we were busting that out. Like the Canadians love it over
busting
here, bro.
Busting your ACLs.
Bro, I struggled for the first, but I couldn't hit it. But then I picked it up pretty quick, and it was fun, man. It was fun. So why don't we crack it on here?
Bro, that's actually because we went for a walk today, and we went around. Our friends were showing us around the Stanford University campus.
Ooh.
And it was nice, bro. Like, I tell you what though, the bladder was full, and I was searching, bro. I was searching for some kind of place to empty the tanks, and the only place that we could find was the it was a COVID testing area, and there was portaloos and whatnot, bro. Okay. Honestly, seeing the setup like that, like a COVID testing campus with portaloos and everything, it honestly felt like I was in The Walking Dead, like the start of I Am Legend. You know what I mean?
Like it's funny how we're on the same continent, but Canada and US is just so different like that. You're living a different on a different planet right now, mate.
Bro, it's unbelievable. Like it started off with the US not letting everyone else in, and now nobody's letting the US people go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Oof. Yeah. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a bit of an issue going on here. Nah, you'll be all good. You'll be all good.
I tell you what, bro. What's we've been listening to some good music over the last couple of weeks, and there have been some new releases this week, bro. That have been keeping the old gym flow going.
Yeah, for sure. I reckon. So the main ones that I wanted to talk about is j.cole dropped a couple. And then obviously Drake and DJ Khaled came out with a couple, and then Drake had
another one,
a little freestyle as well. So you got any thoughts on those ones, or you got anything else that you wanted to add in, or what's been popping your interest lately, keeping you going?
What is that? Like, should he call me Hamza? Some shit. Like, what was it?
Habibi.
Yeah,
some shit. I was gonna say that. Actually, my favorite line out of all these songs that I just mentioned right now was that that line in Arabic, or a couple lines in Arabic. Yeah. And he's got that real UK flow about that song, and I was like, that sounds kind of sick.
The Drake freestyle was sick. The two songs he released with Khaled, Popstar, like that's just an immediate like. It sounds like you know his other song Nonstop.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like that. Like bitches calling my phone. And,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
hard actually. Yeah, true.
It's got that whole vibe, and then that Grease one. Honestly, bro, it didn't get me in the start, but like the other little times I've heard it, it's like you know what I mean? It's like it's a little vibe, you know. It's kind of like I like that he called it Grease because you know how Ed Sheeran's got that song in Barcelona.
Yeah,
like it almost makes you feel like, oh, I'm just in like Mykonos right now. You know what I mean?
I'm flying to Greece. Well,
Yeah.
I actually agree. Like these ones, like off the bat, when I first heard them, were like, oh yeah, these all right. These all right, bro. But then it's like the fourth, fifth, sixth time you listen to it, you're like, oh, okay, I see you.
Yeah,
You start listening to the lyrics and
yeah.
But you know that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
I didn't listen to the I've only listened to one of the Cole songs, bro. I haven't gotten around to it. Like, and it was cool to me. It was just like standard j.cole stuff. But how about you? Did you get heavy into it or?
He just released a couple of songs, and I feel like j.cole is like super in his feelings right now with everything going on. So he's releasing that heavy stuff right now.
Yeah.
The heavy-hearted stuff. So so it's pretty cool to listen to. Like not bangers, but like lyrical. He's a lyrical genius, so he kept that going with these two.
Bro, I've seen all these Drake posts going around, and then like I was just scrolling through Complex literally just like an hour ago, and 1 year ago today the No Guidance video came out.
Bro,
and
I
I just
just
remember
that
like
yeah,
bro. Honestly, I could remember it so vividly when you and I just sat in front of the TV and watched that video. You know, you want the snake, you know what I mean? Like, bro, that video just that's like a nice solid point in time. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and then I actually think we went out a couple of weeks after that because Gurleen was up in Vancouver, and then bang, it came on in the club in Gastown, and we just lost it. So
that's that night I bust my ankle wide open.
That happens quite often to you. So I mean, I can't really remember all the occasions.
Yeah, bro. Like, and then the other thing that's been kind of going around is the versus battles.
Talk to me about that.
So Swiss Beats and Timbaland, they started it on Instagram at the start of quarantine where they'd get like two artists to play their top 20 hits against each other. And it's been like everyone from like Ludacris and Nelly to T-Pain and Lil Jon to like John Legend and Alicia Keys, and they just go head to head on their top hits. It's pretty sick, bro. And they even did like old school producers and stuff like that. And like, you're like, oh shit, he wrote that song.
Oh, okay.
And now it's become like this whole show. It's got its own TV show, and every like Thursday or Friday night or every other week they line up two stars and they do a battle. And so this week was DMX and Snoop Dogg.
How'd that go down?
Bro, I was actually like, for some reason, like DMX, maybe it's because we're from New Zealand, but DMX's hits, like they're bigger than his name. Like you didn't realize like that was DMX for some reason. It never registered to me.
Okay.
But like, I didn't realize how many of his songs that I knew.
Yeah, like, he's got bangers, DMX.
You know, bro, make me lose my mind. Like he's got so many, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh,
but
shit,
then,
I gotta catch up on all that. I don't even know about this.
Yeah,
stuff.
bro. I'll send it to you, but I'm not gonna lie. Like Snoop Dogg, we just like you really just got reminded that this man's a superstar. Like he's up there, bro. He's like walking and performing all his songs. Like Snoop D-O double G. Like he's going hard, man. Like. And you don't realize how big his songs are as well, Uncle Snoop.
Oh my god! Like, if you listen to him just like his normal songs, huge. But then like live, I've heard live that he absolutely gets the crowd going. I haven't seen him myself, but friends have told me that he just goes bang bang, and the crowd goes with him. So, like that's.
They're trying to. The world is trying to get Chris Brown and Usher to do one, bro. Kings of R&B.
Ooh.
Yeah, but to be honest, bro, I don't know if Usher can hold the torch to Chris Breezy, bro, because Chris
Usher
Brown
man. I think Usher needs to drop 10 years off, and then maybe back in the day,
maybe
Usher was smooth.
Yeah.
He was smooth back in the day, but
smooth.
CB still got it.
I was trying to think if Drake did one. Like, can anybody in this day and age like compete with Drake? You know what I mean? It might have to be like almost Chris Brown, but they're like different genres. Hit for hit.
Purely for the reason that everyone would just be on the back of Drake. Drake would just take down anyone, I reckon.
He's too big, eh?
He's too big. Everyone's got that fan base. Bang, bang, bang. He's good.
More hits than the Beatles, you know.
I got more hits than the Beatles, dog. All right, so I reckon we crack on, bro. You've got a little movie segment. You want to ask me a couple of questions about movies here, or?
Oh man, I've just been watching so many movies that it's just become my world, and like I don't want to give any spoilers away. Like I was gonna dive into this one a little bit deeper, but The Old Guard is a movie that just came out on Netflix with Charlize Theron, and it's like breaking records and stuff. But it's bro, the concept of the movie is sick. It's like, man, how do I do this without spoiling it?
Well, can I pause you? Can I pause you? Yeah. So I'm actually 40 minutes into the movie, so I have seen a little bit of it. I'm halfway, so you can chuck those first half an hour out there, but like no spoilers.
Bro, like I mean the concept of it's pretty cool, like how they're essentially immortal, right? And like they're never up to the point that you are, or I don't know, maybe they don't reveal how old the oldest character is, but it's kind of cool because they put like historical hints or references that like these people fought in World War II and with Napoleon and this war, and going back to like Mongolia and Genghis Khan. Like it's such a weird concept to think that this person probably knows like all these languages and has seen everything develop over time.
Well, like, to be fair, when I was watching it, they said like, oh, they were around in 1876, and there was a picture of them from 1876, and I was like, holy crap. Like, I love it when they put like, they have like a fantasy movie, but they relate it to real life really well.
Yes.
It's like, if you can do those things, you've got a serious base for a movie, and this one is like, oh my God. What I've seen so far, I'm absolutely engaged. I can't wait to finish it. Like after the podcast today, I'll be sick.
Yeah, bro. And this one, I wasn't actually going to dive into this, but that historical thing, like I just watched Salt, which is like a throwback Angelina Jolie movie, and I know that you're pretty heavy into the JFK assassination thing, but they kind of touch on that a little bit, saying that it was like that Lee Harvey, what is his name, Oswald or something?
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, they like reference, they use his face to say that he was like a Russian implant. And it makes you think like, whoa, what if that shit was real? Like,
well, I mean, JFK. I mean, I think we've got another couple of conspiracy theories coming up. But if we want to dig into this one, like, there's no way that Lee Harvey Oswald. First of all, he may have shot JFK, but he wasn't the only one who shot JFK. Legit, I'm 100% sure of this. I'm 100% sure.
Devin's got a PhD in JFK.
Oh my God, JFK, bro. R.I.P. I got your back, bro. Jack Ruby was a guy that hired Lee Harvey Oswald to do the shooting. That's the story that the CIA has given us. But honestly, man, if anyone can look at the footage. If you look at the footage, he doesn't get shot from one angle. So as they were driving down that street in Dallas, Texas, Lee Harvey Oswald was apparently in front of JFK in a massive library at the top floor. Bang, popped him. But if you look at the video, he goes bang in the front of the skull, he goes bang in the side, bang in the back, and honestly, man, there was more than one shooter, and they think it's only Lee Harvey Oswald. I'm going against that theory. That's bullshit.
It could be Angelina Jolie from her other movie. What's that one? Where slick. What's that
when
shit?
you curve the bullet. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, the bullet curve. Yeah. Flick that shit. Flick the wrist.
I remember that movie. Yeah. Holy shit.
That was. Yeah, man. But wait, what I actually wanted to chat about with the movies, and maybe in a future week we can dive a little bit deeper when more people have seen this Old Guard thing, because I have some like deep emotional shit to get into there. But the other movies I wanted to kind of talk about was these Pixar movies, bro. Like, I was so behind on some of these Pixar movies. Like, I just caught up and watched, or Disney, I just caught up and watched Toy Story 4 and Onward, which are like some of the newer movies. But, man, I don't know how Pixar does it, but like, if you don't cry in a Pixar movie or a Disney movie, like, you are genuinely a robot.
You're not a human being. Yeah,
bro. Like, honestly, like, if you think back, like, did you watch Coco?
I didn't watch Coco.
Oh,
but what I can say is that, like, I noted down a couple of Pixar movies which really resonate with me and like a part of the childhood. And so Toy Story is huge. I haven't seen Toy Story 4, but 1, 2, 3, obviously. Monsters Inc. Like how
Oh,
good,
yeah.
how good. And then going back even further, A Bug's Life. That one has to be my favorite. Oh wait, that has to be my favorite. A Bug's Life.
That was the first movie I ever watched in movie theaters, bro.
Woo! You got a good start then. Jeepers.
Like I tried to dive in a little bit to like why, because I had read Bob Iger, the Disney CEO's book, and like he talked about when they acquired Pixar, and I haven't started it, but I just bought like the book from the Pixar creator because I wanted to understand like why it was so good. And Steve Jobs actually created Pixar with a couple of other co-founders. Did you know that?
I don't know that.
So like it's just,
Whoa.
yeah, bro, and like apparently they did say you'd think that because it's animated that the movies are for children, but they don't actually make movies for children. They have said that like they make movies for everyone, and they purposely write the scripts looking for like empathy or to pull heartstrings through like loss and death.
I really think that it's like, I can see it. Like now that you're telling me that, I can see it because it's perfect for families because just purely for the fact that it's animated, kids are going to enjoy it. They're just going to laugh. You know, if someone runs into a wall, they're going to laugh. But then like there's certain lines in like A Bug's Life or Monsters, Inc. where it's like, that was meant for adults, not for kids. And so
Exactly.
It's got stuff for everyone. It's sick.
And the interesting thing is like they say children actually, like you said, like children watch the movie through a different lens than their parents, because children might have not experienced like death or like love loss or anything like that, but then like the kid will just be sitting here like this, but then the adult will be sitting here like you know what I mean?
True, bro. Yeah.
I was trying to bro, what movies have like, if you were to think back at the movies that I don't even know if you're a crier, but in movies like what movies have made you the most emotional? Can you remember?
Okay. I'm glad you asked me this question, mate. I'm happy to dig in here. So I try really hard not to cry in movies. And there have been a lot of movies where I've just held back tears and I quickly get the hell out of that theater. I don't want anybody to see me crying. I'm a man.
One of these.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, tissue. But no. So I remember vividly, though, the last Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows. Number two, the last Harry Potter. Just when it all ended, and like Harry, Ron, and Hermione were looking up at the children going to Hogwarts. Bro, I didn't even like shed a tear. I broke down.
End of an era, right? Like end of an era.
I think we were year 13 at that time as well. So I was like, we're finishing high school like with them, and it's like, we went through school with these guys. We're finishing, they're finishing. I lost it, man. I was bawling my eyes out in the theater. Like I didn't care at that time. Like I let it all out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So go for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna like quickly tack on to that. Like when I was a kid, my first real movie that I watched in full was Terminator 2 with my old man. And I always used to cry when Arnie would hold his thumb up at the end when he was dying in the lava, and his thumb would go down, and then he's out. Yeah. And so those are two that spring to my mind, bro. What about you? Got any thoughts?
Like I wasn't even thinking about the end of an era ones, because if I actually do think about it, some of the times that I have cried the most is like at the end of Friends, at the end of How I Met Your Mother, at the end of Big Bang Theory, because it's you were with them for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're your mates.
Bro, I just finished Modern Family, and that one got me like deep. Because obviously I'm older now, and it's not just like Friends is the end of an era of friends leaving each other, right? And that's its own big thing. But Modern Family is kind of like what we're all experiencing, where like the children go off, and you know they had the golden years where all the family was together, and now it's like, oh shit, it makes you think about your parents. Like fuck, their parents are just at home, like you know what I mean, waiting for you to pick up the phone. Like end of Fresh Prince, you know, like
oh god, man. Oh wow, Fresh Prince, wow, that one's big. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's isn't life funny like that? How it just goes in waves up and down. Like when you sit down and really dig deep into what life's about, like at this point in time in your life, it's very different from other times, and like you can only imagine what it's like for your elders or your family back home. They're like, yo, this is that little kid, Devin or Prashit. Now they're living in Canada. Like, yeah, it's a lot to think about.
Bro, fuck it, man. I wasn't going to dive into the in-depth stuff, but I think we're going down there. So like, we were, you know, like that movie is about, Old Guard is about immortality, right? And like, obviously, so Okay, let me tread lightly here. Anyway, so obviously these people had to be born. So if they're immortal, that means they had to watch their family grow old and die. And that might have meant they had to watch their parents grow old and die, or maybe they didn't know they were immortal, so they got married, but then they're not aging, but their wife and children are aging.
Gotcha.
And okay, have you gotten to the part where they talk about the Asian girl?
Okay, so they've just actually kidnapped the lady who got her neck sliced, but then she had it repaired.
Okay.
So I'm only up to there.
Okay. So you were talking about life's purpose, and we're talking about family, and is it to follow your own path? Is it to live with your family and grow this family dynamic and be around loved ones? And if you're immortal, you have a choice. You could just go from one family to another, be like Future or Dwight Howard out here with 10 baby mamas, you know what I mean? Or you have one family, and then after you live that one life cycle of family life, then what do you spend your next 100 years doing? Are you dedicating yourself to a certain craft? Are you going to become the best hunter in the world, or the best researcher? You know what I mean? If you were to think yourself, the 26, 27?
Yeah, I'm at 26 now, boy.
26. The 26-year-old Devin. So, your sports career's behind you, blah, blah, blah. The 26-year-old Devin, at this point in time, what would you say you think your purpose is? For at least the next,
macaroni.
let's say, the next 10 to 20 years, what do you feel like your purpose is? And obviously, this answer would change if I asked you again in 2-3 years. But how do you feel?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, wow, that's a great question, and
do you
I'm actually
have a purpose yet?
Yeah, I'm actually excited to chat about this one with everyone back home as well, because this is opening up, man. This is real talk now. Yeah. We're entering the realm of real talk. Yeah, honestly, man, I would say my my priorities here for my first 2 years in Canada were priorities that I needed to get out of my system. They were short term. I'm talking about having a lot of fun. I'm talking about going out, enjoying myself. You're young, you party, things that nature. You try a couple of different things, you know what I mean? And you go down that path, and just to really get it out of your system and experience what life's about. And I feel like I do my fair share, let's just say that. And so the the priorities have now switched back to ones in which I think more about everybody back home and what everybody back home is going through. And I'm like, I want to someday be in that position. So right now it's actually I feel like I've become more sensible over the past couple of years, and I want to set something up for myself, whether it be back home or somewhere else. And so to be honest with you, to say my purpose, I don't know, Prashit, but what I do know is that I want to start setting myself up for what's to come next in life. And I like what we're doing here with our podcast. We're both in software as a service, in the work sort of thing, technology sector. So that's fun. So I don't actually have an answer for you in terms of my purpose, but those are my priorities at the moment. What about you?
Well, I'll answer that in two parts. I was watching this one YouTube video of this YouTuber, and he's only 20 years old, right? Yeah. And he was talking about him at 20 versus him at 15. And because, professional athletes or people in certain maybe entertainment or whatever, if they're only 20 years old, you might look at them as a 20-year-old. When we were 20, we were babies mentally. We hadn't experienced much. But if you think about 20-year-olds that have maybe gone through a hard life, maybe war or refugee, or they were in entertainment from 15 to 20, they've gone through so many things and emotions and personal relationships that we haven't. So it's weird watching this 20-year-old, self-actualize and talk about, this is who I am as a person, because he had actually taken the time at 20 years old to read books and self-reflect and say, I want to be this and I want to be that as a person. And so it sounds like you're still living life and you haven't quite sat down and thought about, who am I and what I want to be, and you're still kind of just figuring it out, right?
Yeah, and but I guess like to build on that, honestly, Prashit, like the reason that I decided to live overseas and travel. So basically, since we graduated in 2016, I've been living in overseas, UK and Canada. Yeah. The reason I wanted to do that is to go on that journey. Like, not only to experience new things and meet new people, but also to discover who I am as a person and what I'm on this earth for. Like, I feel like I am more able to get to that point finally, whenever it may be, overseas than it is back home. And when I figure that all that shit out, honestly, man, when I figure that stuff out when I'm there, that's when I know I'm going to go home. That's when I know it's time. But I'm still not there yet. So that's part of the reason why I'm on the journey.
And for me, if you were to ask me, like, when I was 21, let's say 21, before we had traveled together on those big trips. Bro, honestly, I would have been happy to just have a few dogs, like live the little farm life, like be one with nature, that type of vibe. But I think now, and bro, if you would have asked me a year and a half ago, I was actually like really like, oh yeah, let me just have some kids and shit. Like I'm ready to go. But now, honestly, it's shifted a little bit, and like I'm like, nah, there's things that like you can that I want to do personally and accomplish. And then, so I am kind of in that wavelength right now. But then in terms of like long-term purpose, right now, I'm in this mode of like, and it's kind of been in this mode for the last few years. I want to help like kids. I want to help
That's awesome.
Like the youth and stuff. And we talked about it a little bit in our like Black Lives Matter podcast about like helping youth and all that kind of stuff. There's just like, there's so much that I didn't know going through my teenage years and my early 20s that I wish somebody would tell me. And so I think for me, like, you know, I'm not really like, I care about the environment and I care about this, but if I was to pick like one thing that I want to be passionate about, I think that would be like the youth, bro. That's probably where I'm at right now. That's my headspace.
Well, that's awesome. That's bloody fantastic. And
bro.
Like, it's always been like, now that you bring that up, it kind of sparks something in my mind. Like, I've always wanted to go to Africa and like hold a cricket coaching camp for kids.
Yeah.
And so like you can do volunteering in Africa and also different countries, like continents and countries around the world. But I figured if I have that knowledge and skill set, I can help them with life, but also cricket as well. I also appreciate, I have always said that like no matter what it is in this world, I do want my name to be remembered long after I'm gone. So I thought it would be cricket or something to do, something like that of that nature, but hasn't worked out. I'm still trying to find the next step that will allow me to have my name remembered after I'm gone. So I haven't found it yet, but I do have that, that goal there. So,
bro, I've honestly always said I'd love to have like a mausoleum or like a crypt, and like I don't care if my body's not kept there, but I want like a coffin kept in there and like it to be like a time capsule, bro, and like it only opens up in 100 years or something. And I'll write a whole bunch of diaries and leave information about my life and all this. And like, I'll leave in certain artifacts and shit, bro. Like, that'll be so sick if in 100 years somebody like opens up all this shit and sees all these details and like, like I reckon that's what I want to do, bro. I want to set up like a time capsule shit, bro. Like,
maybe you can leave a little iPhone 10 in there, PlayStation 4 for 100 years
exactly,
time,
all these little things. But, bro, to put a pin in this movie conversation, we both actually chatted about this just recently. We were like, well, how are we gonna watch movies in the future? Like, how's that gonna happen with all this quarantine?
Yeah, totally. And there's actually something that's come out here locally in Vancouver. Probably going to be in many other spots around the world as well. But they're bringing back the old, drive-up cinema.
I'd love to experience
so
that. So
how sick would that be? You go during twilight, the night's falling, you've got a massive screen with this new movie in front of you. People are all pulled up. You got their blankets on and things like that. Like, see on the old school movies, they're bringing it back. And we actually live right beside Stanley Park. Everyone in Vancouver, Canada, we live right beside Stanley Park. So I think that's where it is, Prashit. So, man, we're pretty close to it. And I think this is actually going to be a huge staple, not only this year, next year as well. I can't see everything getting back to normal yet, especially up here in North America. So, man, these drive-in movie theaters are going to be sick, I reckon. What do you think about that?
Yeah, bro. I think you're right. Honestly, I think even like when COVID in a year or 2 years is gone down, I think that these drive-in movie theaters are going to be their own new market. And I think it's going to just be like And who knows, maybe like Cineplex and shit will diversify and create their own drive-in movie theaters, because some people are going to be forever traumatized, but then also like some movie theaters just aren't going to be able to recover.
Well,
and like well, I've seen like Dave Chappelle, he set up like this outdoor venue for him to do comedy, and Kevin Hart's actually been talking about building like a 50-person, 100-person outdoor auditorium to start like doing his comedy and building his new set, because we don't know when indoor shit will ever be available again, you know?
It's true. Like, I think, you know, in life, you always want to take learnings from different things that happen to you. And so COVID, obviously, it's been like really tough on the human race. It's unfortunately, a lot of people lost their lives. Terrible. We have to try and learn something from it. I was talking to my manager the other day, and he was saying that like it's going to change the way that he manages. There's no need to always work from the office. Like, you can work 3 days in the office, 2 days from home. Like, that's fine. We've got Zoom now. We've got everything that we need. And so I think, honestly, the movie industry is going to take those learnings on board, and I see this drive-in movie theater just to be, it's more of an experience, bro. You know, you're going with your partner, man. You're going with your mates. You can talk shit in your car while you're watching the movie. You don't have to be silent, things like that. So yeah, I reckon it's going to be something to keep an eye on.
Have you done it before? I've never even done it before.
I have been to one where I think we sit outside. Never been to a drive-in one.
Right.
So I'm looking
even like those even those outdoor seating theaters. I think Auckland's got one. I know Vancouver's got the same thing. Even that'll be dope on like summer nights and shit like that.
Oh man.
Or if they set up if they set up cover and fire pits and shit, like that would be pretty like sick, you know?
Both those options heavily outweigh going into a movie theater, given COVID-19 and just the trend of everything going on. It's more fun. Like, the atmosphere is a lot more, I think, to be honest with you. So yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it to get amongst it.
Yeah, bro. Well, I think we were both holding out for, you know, we mentioned that we got some conspiracy theories. And maybe I'm just keep an eye on the time. We can just dabble a little bit in this one. But, bro, space has been a topic of conversation this last week or two, you know?
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, guys, we've got a couple here. But let's start with... let's start going back in time, Prashit. How about that? And then we can fast forward back to what's going on now. So let's throw it all the way back 51 years ago. The anniversary of Apollo 11 landing on the moon was last week. Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon, supposedly. So I just have a question for you. I just want to know your thoughts on it. This is also a topic that can be built into a conspiracy theory. Do you think, with all your knowledge, Prashit, that Neil Armstrong and Apollo 11 actually landed on the moon, or did they fake the landing?
So let me tell you this. I'm not like... I've read a little bit about this just over the years and stuff. I'm not a heavily like conspiracy theorist in this. I think it happened, but from what I've heard, I think that the footage might be fake, because apparently, like, back then, like, the film would have got like destroyed on the way back into the atmosphere, or like by the gamma rays in space or some shit. I don't know if they had like a massive lead container to carry their film, but I think they landed there, bro. Like, I mean, we can get rovers to Mars and shit. There's nothing to say that we can't get a man on the moon. People say, oh, well, why didn't we do it more? I think there's no need to do it. The moon's like just a rock, you know what I mean? But who knows? Maybe like Elon Musk is just gonna be like, yo, I figured out how to reuse these rockets. It's super cheap now. Like, you want to go to the moon? Like, holla at me. Let's go.
A little tour group to the moon.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Do you think it happened?
Holy shit. So actually, I've flirted back and forth here. Like, to one of your points, only 12 people have gone, but then it is only like, it's a rock. It's the moon. What's the need for more than 12 people to go?
Right.
Well, obviously, the US back then were in a race, like they called it the space race with the Soviet Union, right after World War II. So it was like a hot topic. Who's going to get there first? So that leads me to believe that it potentially could be fake. I watched some videos on certain lighting from these recordings that they've got, and it's like the light should only be coming from above, not below. Because how was the light going to be protruding from the moon? And some of these, like, some of the footage, like, there's light coming up. So that is it a Hollywood camera? Are you guys just in a Hollywood studio? But then I think really the deciding factor here is that there was hundreds of thousands of people involved in just the Apollo 11 project. And for every one of them to keep their mouths shut, I think is impossible.
Right.
So I actually believe that it did happen. Because me and you, we've been around long enough. We know it's human nature. If you've got a secret, you want to tell someone. And that's going to keep going. They're going to tell someone. They're going to tell someone. So it would have already come out by now if it was fake. So after all my flirting back and forth, I'm going to stick with that. Yep. It did happen, this one.
That's like the UFOs, bro. Like, you know, everyone's... I don't want to go too heavy, but, you know, there's been people come out saying, I used to work on this program with that program, but I think we're going to finally find out because the US has announced, like, from the Pentagon that they're going to start releasing information. And apparently one of, like, the consultants or something said that they have found out-of-world vehicles, and I don't know if everyone has seen those. If you Google like UFO naval officer, like a lot of naval, or not a lot, like there's these naval pilots that are credited that aren't whack jobs that have come out with real footage, and the footage has been declassified of them filming like essentially UFOs. Like they can't explain the movement of these objects and shit. Bro, I'm excited to see what news is going to come out about this.
Well, yeah, totally. I'm with you in that, and I could take this so many directions here. Like, obviously, they release it. They told us they're going to release these different videos. I actually watched a couple just before the podcast here. Like, I think they said it's going to be one from 2004, a couple from 2015, so pretty recent. Like, some of these footages some of the footage on YouTube right now it's like a black dot flying, bro, and it's like, how can you tell that's a UFO? I mean, maybe you don't understand the motion of it, but it's like, you can't definitively say it's a UFO. But I will backtrack here and say that I 100% believe that we're not the only living life form in this universe. And I actually believe, Prashit, that higher life forms, whether you want to call them aliens or whatever you want to call them, they live among us on Earth. And they're of higher intelligence. I don't know if they can take human form or what they can do, but they're living among us, keeping an eye on us. And I believe that they will prevent any UFO from being found because they have higher intelligence than us. So that's my belief. I don't have too much to back it up, guys. Hit me up if you think I'm wrong, but I don't know. What do you think about that?
Bro. Oh, shit. Aliens among us. I mean, I think there's life as well. I don't think we're it. And bro, what you're kind of talking about, it's like, have you heard of the show The 100?
Yes, yeah, I watched the first 3 seasons, I think.
Oh, okay, perfect. Like, so that's like my favorite show right now. Like, I'm up to date. Like, I've been watching it from the beginning as well. And that show, bro, where you're at, you're still in the beginning stages, but that shit takes some turns. Like,
oh, it does? Okay.
It's really bizarre the way that life is imitating art, because I'm not going to ruin it, but the show is almost like, it's freaking like what Elon Musk is working on now, like getting interstellar travel to Mars, and how China is sending rocket ships to Mars with rovers and shit. Starts there, and then part 2 is like, you know, the Neuralink thing that Elon Musk has been working on? Do you know what that is?
I don't, bro, to be honest with you.
Bro, like, so this already exists where you can put a chip in your brain to help you essentially work on like it can help with dementia, it can help with you know, like Stephen Hawking, like read-write ability, so you can like think of a signal, and because we're electrical beings, we can think of a signal, it goes through the chip and it goes like Bluetooth to a computer, and you can type letters one at a time. They're working on making it so high bandwidth, so it's not just like one signal going in and out, but if you can have thousands and thousands of signals going in and out, you could essentially think a line, or think a conversation, or think a picture, or think a movie, or think a whole university course in an instant. Or they could use it to like repair certain parts of your eyes or your muscles, or he said you could cure like disabilities and shit like that. And bro, the 100 starts off there, and then it moves to like famine created a nuclear war, and from a nuclear war humans went to space, and then essentially from there it's like the shit that you're talking about. It's, are we living among aliens? Are aliens just a futuristic or more advanced version of humans that have come to visit us? You know what I mean?
Right. Wow.
Aliens could just be humans from a different planet or some shit, bro. If you guys are into this shit, watch The 100. The 100 is gonna explore these topics. And your eyes lit up when I mentioned Neuralink. What were you gonna say on that?
Well, I was going to say that I have heard of, actually, when you were explaining it, I have heard of it. I was going to actually ask you, so is that, so we only have access to 10% of our brain. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, some shit like that, like Limitless, that pill, right? Like
yeah, Limitless, yeah. So is this really giving us an extra 10%, or what is it? Is that what it's doing, or?
No, it's essentially kind of. It's essentially allowing you to be one with technology. So we are cyborgs because we have an iPhone. If I ask you what was Kobe Bryant's first game date that he played, you don't know off the top of your head, but you could find it within 5 seconds because you could type it on your iPhone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's stopping you from getting me the answer in 1 second? The problem is that it takes you 5 seconds to pick up your phone, type it in, Google result, takes 5 seconds, right? Now, if you didn't have to pick up your phone and type, but you could think that thought and that thought would come back to you, then that essentially makes you a computer, right?
So
or if you could,
okay.
If you could never forget any memory, if everything you ever saw was as crystal clear as an iPhone photo, an iPhone video, that's essentially what this could provide us. It could give you 1,000 terabytes of storage in your brain.
Holy shit. Okay, so everything that you see is now like a picture in your brain.
Yeah.
So some people have photographic memories right now, eh? Is that kind of like...
Yeah. It's kind of like that. Obviously, it's not going to be photographic to a computer, but some people are like that. Like, they can remember shit like, photo and shit.
Damn, man, that's crazy. Holy crap. Woo.
Yeah, man. Are you a visual learner? Like, do you learn stuff from reading or watching movies or listening? What do you best?
Right. So for me, it's definitely watching something.
Right.
I tend.
What about doing?
Doing massive. So watching, doing massive. But like for me, reading and listening, I tend to like switch off. Like I just switch off real quick. I need to be engaged in what I'm doing. So that's why I feel like watching something or actually doing it is me.
Yep.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm visual and doing. But since the last few years, the more and more I listen to podcasts and audiobooks, I have become more audio. But if I was to watch a podcast versus listening to a podcast, for some reason, when you watch it and you see their faces say it, I can put a picture to the person saying the comment, and it helps me remember it.
Totally,
you know what I mean?
Totally. If I start watching a podcast on YouTube, I can't pause it and go listen to the rest on Apple. I can't do it. But it's weird. Like, you should be able to do that. But like,
yeah. I hate doing that. I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah,
you know
I'm. You're now talking to me. I can see your facial expressions, even though you're gonna say the same thing. The dimension is like you're above when you're watching the footage as well for me. So,
yeah, bro. Well, fuck, that was our little conspiracy chapter. I did not realize we would take it there.
So we went deep in that one. Woo!
Yeah, bro. Well, should we take it back to our roots, brother? The bubble is going on.
Hey, yeah.
The bubble. There's a lot of shit been happening in the bubble. It's like a freaking reality show.
Man, I love this. I'm loving watching all these vlogs, videos. I'm watching
JaVale McGee's vlogs.
Bro, I'm watching.
How good.
I'm watching
Troy Daniels.
Oh, you see Troy Daniels. What about? Are you watching Matisse Thybulle's vlogs as well from the 60s?
Yeah, Matisse.
Oh, bro, he's funny, bro. He's got some good
superstars, bro. Also, like the Wizards and I think the Bucks have started releasing content. It's just cool to see shit going on. But like, these guys are like, you see how normal they are? Like, they're like, oh shit, 9 a.m. practice. Like, you think they're like, hustlers and shit.
Bro, these guys are human. Like, they're eating snacks, bro. Let's see JaVale and Matisse opening their box full of snacks. It's like, you gotta eat Doritos, you get some chocolate. Bro, their meals aren't even that great. Like, you guys eat like us. Bro, we could be in the NBA.
Bro, the thing that I didn't you never compute is because they look like a normal frame. Like, you know what I mean? We don't realize that they're 7 foot or 6'8" or 6'10". So they actually do require like a third or double the calories of somebody our size.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get that from just eating clean. So these guys do just eat like Skittles and shit because they just burn it off.
Wow, it's actually like it gives me hope. We'll always
gives you hope.
I feel like in every episode we've mentioned that we probably could be in the NBA, but hey, we'll mention again.
Bro, I say I'm humble. Like, so my hand is starting to feel better. I can kind of start to put up shots now. So I've been up at the courts, but I'm humble, bro. My shit so broken. Like, my shot is so broken, bro. Like, I am a rookie. It's gonna take some time to build that back up.
I am with you on that. I went to Kitsilano Beach to take a few shots and with my girlfriend down there, and yep, I was. And saying that, it was nighttime, so I couldn't quite see very well. But like my shot was just like brick. But you laying an absolute apartment building out there, brick. But yeah,
I'm just building the wall, bro. Like, you know, you have a good habit. You used to have a good habit of just practicing your shot.
I do that, yeah.
And honestly, that's, I think, very important. If you can get the good rep of your shot like 100 times a day, it will follow through into real life. Like, I'm going to start just doing that as well. Because right now, I'm like, when I don't have anyone in front of me, yeah, it goes in, but I'm shooting more like forward. But if somebody stands in front of me, my whole shot's broken because I should be releasing from up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not here. So,
I know.
I need to...
I think there's a lot of disappointment in your voice, but like, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's natural for you to like kind of push it when no one's there, but you still got to like lock in and snap their wrist out there.
Bro, my girlfriend's got a higher shooting percentage than me, bro, from the free throw line. I lost a game of horse.
But you got to give up, bro. It's over. Okay, it's over for you. It's over for you.
Yeah, I know, bro. Jesus, holy.
Well, yeah. I was gonna mention the snitch hotline. You know what I mean? You see those things about the snitch hotline? So
did you see the CBS video short that they put out?
No. Oh, no. What's that?
Oh, bro, I was sent to you afterwards. It's just this dude sitting at a desk, taking like fake snitch calls.
I seen it.
Yeah,
I seen it.
That shit's so funny. Like, he's like, nah, no flu game. Sorry, LeBron. You have to like be the GOAT a different way. Or, hey, did anybody else know the Washington Wizards are here? They're making calls. Like, it's just.
I like the one. I like the one where he's like, okay, now get a pen and paper and write down what I'm about to tell you. It's like, yo, who this? Yo, a Minnesota area code. Hey, D'Angelo, is that you?
Bro, and then there's another one where it's like, hey, he's like, hey, hotline, blah, blah, blah. He's good at sneaking a girl in. And he's like, yeah, we don't take those type of calls here. We don't take those type of calls here. You know what I mean? Bro, the players have made like a silent agreement. Like, if they're sneaking in shorties.
Oh, man. And you know they're doing that. And that leads us straight into Lou Will.
Too bad, like Lou Will.
Two girls like Lou Will. We all know he had 2 girlfriends. If he can pull that off, he can pull anything off.
So, for those that don't know, Lou Williams is a player on the Clippers, and he's an Atlanta legend. And if you guys don't know, Atlanta is one of the capital cities in the United States for gentlemen's establishments. And, you know, they have it's an essential, you know, I think it's actually been classified as an essential business because it provides nourishment and food to the community. You know, you can go there and get a good meal as well as entertainment. And what's happened is Lou Williams has actually, there's been a rapper, Mr. Jack Harlow, you know, what's poppin'? Brand new whip just hopped in.
Hey.
Huh? Pass that bitch like Stockton. Anyway, this rapper posted a picture of him and Lou Will at the strip club when Lou Will was apparently on family emergency leave and had to attend a funeral. And then they took the picture down, and then Jack Harlow goes, no, it was an old picture. I was just missing my dog. Bro, we know Lou Will. We know him.
I'm sorry, guys. We're not having that. Lou Will, you're a bad man. Like, he's got a quarantine for 10 days now to be clean and stuff, but come on, bro. You can go 2 months without going to a strip joint. Surely.
I know, right?
Surely.
Come on, man. Like, wait, what if like the too many players were trying to sneak in girls, or like the NBA Players Association was like, nah, like we can't do this, the bubble, like it's just too much, like we're men, we need this.
Yeah.
And then the NBA approved, like, okay, let's get in, like, because you know how they're building a barbershop, you know, that's an essential need.
Yeah.
What if they like build a strip club in Disney, bro, for the NBA players?
I did read a story that they actually held like a like a disco, like a party, and do you know who turned up to the party? Only Dwight Howard turned up to the party.
Hey,
no one else.
Dwight.
Bro,
Hey.
he was rocking up, bro. There was food. There was a little bit of drink there. Like the lights were going, and he looked around. There was no one else there. It was just Dwight.
Bro, it's weird. These NBA players don't like to socialize. They just stay in their rooms and play video games and shit. Like,
they're young, bro. They're Gen Z.
Bro, Matisse or something took maybe it was Troy Daniels gave a tour of the Players Lounge. It's sick. Like, there's unlimited food. There's games, PlayStation, ping pong, like just lounge area, and it's empty. Like, bro, if it was you and I feel like we'd be up in there every day.
We'd be draining
table
all
tennis,
those facilities. Yeah.
If those that don't know, Devin and I are semi-professional table tennis players. We're putting in about 2 hours of practicing every week. Lunchtime, breaks after work. I've got a sustained injury from table tennis, but that 3-4 month stretch, bro, semi-pro.
Yeah, semi. I'd argue fully, but you know what I mean. So we were going back and forth. I reckon it ended up around about 25. Sets. What was that? 25 games.
Oh yeah,
we were very even. We were even at table tennis.
We were very even. I think towards the end you might have inched out a few extra sets. You might have ended the game on top. It was like 25-28 to you, maybe not sets, games 25-28. Like
I think it was that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it was a close battle. I heard Devin would verse another person and get a new technique. It'd take me a few games to learn the technique, and then I'd come back with a new technique. Damn, those are the days, man. We got to sneak in and go have a jam on the table tennis.
I think we should actually bring it back when you get back in the country, man. When you get back in the country,
go for it, eh? And what about the? I think the last little piece that I've seen from the bubble. It's we're talking about guys missing their woman. I've seen a little bit of romance, bro.
Kyle
Kuzma himself. Yeah. He's for those that don't know, he's in a new relationship with Winnie Harlow, who's a supermodel, and she got a plane for him to hover over the Orlando resort that said like "Happy birthday, baby, I love you," that kind of shit.
That's a boss move right there. Woo!
That is a boss move, and I know that Devin himself is Mr. Romantic.
Mr.
Trey Songz himself. Like,
bro,
what's some of your go-tos? Give some advice to the lads out there.
Well,
what are some gifts or some gestures that you've that you can unveil to the public that aren't like too secret?
All right, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna flip this question straight on you, so get your thinking cap on. But so I remember one time I did this for my current girlfriend, Kaylin. She's Irish lash out here in Vancouver. We were meant to meet up on a specific night, but then I went home with one of my mates and stuff just to have a yarn with him, and so we didn't actually end up meeting, and so I felt bad about not meeting her that night. So I was like, I have to do something to make up for this. So I texted her during the week, and I said, meet me at the beach at this time. I said, meet me at the beach at 8 o'clock. And I wanted it to be really just like vague and weird, and she was like, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And so what I had done for her, so night had fallen, and I was on the beach, and I writ out in massive writing on the sand. I said I had sorry, because I was sorry to her. I was very sorry, Kaylin, if you're listening, which I know you are.
Did you play Justin Bieber in the background?
Yeah. But what was the magic touch is that I had a bucket of flowers as the full stop on the period on the end of the sorry.
Period.
And I even had it was I'm sorry. So I'm, and then for the apostrophe. And between the I and the M, I had a Whittaker's chocolate bar as the apostrophe. So
Whittaker's, you can't go wrong with the Whittaker's.
So I put that as the apostrophe. I had flowers as the full stop. I'm sorry. I managed to get her as my girlfriend, so I think it's a pretty good move. Kaylin, what do you reckon? But yeah, Prashit, you gotta look. I know, but you're talking about me as romantic, man. I got some ideas off you as well. So why don't you share?
Yeah. The problem with me is I'm very inconsistent, but when I do something, it is good. One thing you did tell you, it was hard for me to think about and sit and understand why are surprises so good? Why are little gestures so good? Back in the day early on, I was, doing a little bit more of the little gestures, but, Devin explained to me, little surprises, they they can be very small in terms of budgetary amounts, you know. But if you were to do $10 surprises, it's going to far surpass the effects of one $100 surprise. So that's just a tip for you guys out there. Very small surprises. And I think for me, it's, you know, grand gestures, they're fine. But what I have found is things with a personal touch, you know, like, especially with COVID going on and people aren't used to seeing each other or touching each other or whatever. Like, it feels different when you receive a gift or you receive something that you know the other person has bought and touched and maybe wrapped themselves and handwritten or put in an envelope themselves. And when you receive it from them, it's almost like you can feel their DNA or the energy on that item or on that envelope. You know, like what I mean? So personal touch, definitely. Don't just ship it from Amazon as a gift to their place. Like, if you can, go through the effort of, you know, putting a little bit of extra sauce on it.
All right.
And then other things is like what can you create? Arts and crafts, you know? Add a little drawing, build something, you know, write a little, use your brain, guys, you know, verbose. Come on, use your language, spit some bars. But I think those ones go a long way, don't they?
Yeah, man, totally. Like little personal touches, like you're saying. I always draw the New Zealand fern on all of the cards that I give to Kaylin. So, like, you know, just that little New Zealand touch, personal touch, man. So yeah. There's been a few over the years, but like I reckon I was impressed with myself when I wrote the "I'm sorry" in the sand with the little points here and there. So
for everyone out there, take some of our advice. If COVID's separated you from loved ones, if that's your brothers and sisters, your folks, your family, your significant other, send them a little something, give them a little personal touch, and mend those relationships. And with that, Devin, I think we're coming up on time here. You want to give some love to the viewers and send us out?
Oh yeah, that was an entertaining episode, Prachi. I hope you guys enjoyed that one as well. We love to do that. Episode 10 in the books. We're in double figures now. We're real podcasters.
I think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah,
and we won't miss a week. We'll try not to miss a week anymore.
Yeah. We'll be good. We'll be good for you guys. If you be good back to us, hit us with that like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Check you guys later. We appreciate you. Have a good one.
Love ya.
Yeah, I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a roll. You see how it goes. MVP and man so wavy, champ like Brady, boss like J.cole.